Welcome, friends. It's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm making a quick card using the Honeybee S.W.A.K stamp, or the lips, sealed with a kiss. S.W.A.K. Love it. At any rate, this card was so fun to make. I started out using Canson XL watercolor paper because I thought I was going to do some watercoloring, but ends up I did not. So you could really use regular cardstock to make this card. So I have the Kitsch Flamingo Distress Oxide ink and love it. Use that for my first lip. Now I am stamping with Festive Berries and Distress Oxide ink. And then my third ink will be Seedless Preserves Distress Oxide ink. Love this color combination. I stamp each of these lips in the three colors 3 times, and that gives me a very good impression. As I'm going through, you'll notice that I am also stamping on regular cardstock. So I am stamping 2 panels as I go. I am stamping the love sentiment directly on my panel. I pre-prepped for heat embossing and am using clear embossing powder. This is another part of my sentiment. I am using just regular Versamark ink and just stamping that on black cardstock and using white embossing powder. And here I have placed some Black Soot Distress Oxide ink on my palette and mixed in a little water and am splattering that all over my panel with a paintbrush. Love this. As I was completing, I got a rather large blob up top. And so I will have to figure out how to fix that. I am blotting off the excess with a paper towel, and I'm not moving that paper towel too much because I don't want to get spread, I don't want to smear, the black soot. Then I use my heat tool to finish drying that panel, set it aside, die cut a large heart, and scored it down the center because it will be the interior of my card so that I can write my sentiment. I use liquid glue to affix my heart to the inside of my card base and placed an acrylic block there. Let that set a bit and then use my bone folder to score again on the outside. So I thought, since I was using watercolor paper, that in order to disguise that black blob, I would use some Nouveau shimmer powder in the Lunar Rocket. And I like the way this was going. I was adding my powder, spritzing with water, getting a little grungy look around the lips. I even like that, And so this was fine. After I applied all of the Lunar Rocket, I decided to blot it off, of course, to get the excess off. Even still liked it at this point. Well, I took it a little too far. I decided to also add some Golden Sparkler Nouveau shimmer powder. That's where I went wrong. And so I did not like this, but I left this in the video because I wanted you to see how that gold didn't look right. And, so that you won't make that same mistake if you wanted to do something along the same lines. In between using each color, I do use my heat tool to dry my panel. And here I am thinking, how can I salvage this piece? And I just went too far, and I don't think that I can. So what I did was I decided to remake this panel. Here, off camera, I remade this panel the exact same way, except when I got to my black splatters, I used a very inexpensive gloss acrylic paint. Mix that with water, place this in my splat box, and applied using a paintbrush, same way I did with the first. And then here I have sprayed this with some shimmer powder to give it as much shine as I could. And I'm going to finish off the second part of my sentiment. I fishtailed that, the word always, and go ahead and use liquid glue to add that to my panel. I trim off the excess from the sentiment and go ahead and affix my panel directly to my black 110-pound card base. If you like this video, I hope you're inspired to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, good day, friends.